Welcome back everybody. On the previous video we showed when we was putting all these little cardboard stones on and it was setting with glue, which being I've left it overnight now and it's absolutely solid now. So the next, what we've got to do now, the next protocol is we've got to trim them all out, because as you can tell the bricks are hanging over everything and simple things where we just bring it back into shape again now. So we'll just go through that. So all I tend to use for that is just a knife. And just carefully just going round all the edges to flush trim them all up. Like that. And then we do this on every piece that we've covered. Like that. And as you can tell now, we've shaped it back into the original frame. Around these parts here, it doesn't matter if they're a bit uneven, because for this model in particular, it's got window frames that go round to arch it all back out, so they'll just get stuck straight over at top. But if you don't have the frames on your kind of model and this is going to be the finished look, then you would need to make sure that all these edge brickwork that you've got are in line with the edge of your window frame. But like I said, on this model I'm fortunate enough that I do have a framework that fits back into this window, which will cover all that back up. So if we just carry on with shaping the rest up, like so. Like I said, just take your time because you don't want to slip, because as blunt as a knife is, it soon goes through skin. That's that bit, that's just this bit here, that's that. Like that. So again, we've got the same scenario on there. And we'll just go finish this last one off. I did overrun on there, I've just accidentally hit the boarding, but the same, it won't make that much of a difference once I finish, because I am going to be putting this stuff on the internals as well, just to make it look like it is one big wall, or should I say one thick wall of stone. I'm just using a regular Stanley knife blade for this. Craft knives, they tend not to be tough enough, because what happens is when the PVA glue sets, it leaves like a thick, like a rubberized coat onto everything. So the craft knives tend not to get through it as nice as these ones. Cut that there. And there. Like I said, just make sure that you're getting up to the edge. Like so. And if you do find that there is a bit of glue on the edges and stuff like that and you're not too keen on that, you can always pick yourself a little sanding block up and just go over it. And it's gone. So it does leave a nice edge in the end. And then because we've now done that, everything else is fine, but I really do like the texture that it creates on the stone, and they do generally look like big stones with all the texture around the cardboard. That's why I say there's two sides to the cardboard boxes, the egg boxes you get, which I'll just pick one of these up, what I've got beside. You've got a smooth side, if it can focus a little bit better, got a smooth side, and then as you can see the texture there, the texture is there, so that's the side you want facing up on your actual model to get that look. And then obviously from there, when these go back together, like so, you won't be able to see this from my end. Just put that into there. You will have to do some fine adjustments to them in the end, but then as you can see, you've managed to create the stone brick effect on the walls. Now when it comes to finishing these off, especially on mine where the two panels meet, you don't have the brick, you just have a, in my case, a brown edge of a board. But I will be then, when it's time to put this together, once I've done all inside up and everything, and this gets its final glue together, I will be then getting some more of this egg box in and just overlapping it over here and sticking it with some PVA glue, just sealing these ends up, so once all the grout lines have all, the mortar lines have all been done, it'll all blend in then, but at least you won't have one long mortar line going right down there, you know. But if we just extend the bricks, but we just can't do it at the moment because I need to keep taking the model to bits so I can do the internal part of it all. So, and then I've done stuff like this. I did this off camera, but as you can tell, I've gone around everything, and round this is the front of the church. I just keep finding little hairs like that. So this is the front of it, and again I've got the window frames to go around here. You just recut all your lines where your other parts are going to interlock with them, and then around there. But I just really like the texture, even to the degree where you put in like little sliver of cardboard with the little ends of the box, the actual box itself, where it rips off, and it's there, but it just adds like another feature to a wall. And as you can tell, they all look in pretty good shape, the bricks. They're all different sizes, and some are going that way, some are going that way, and that's the beauty about it. It's just a random wall. And then it's the same on that side as well. Obviously it needs sticking together, but like I said, I can't do that at the moment. And then that'll be the back part. That's what's showing once the church goes here like that. This is all going to be covered. It's going to come up to there, is the church roof, and come out that way. So that's just what's left. But I am going to be doing the same effect as that inside, all the way up into here, because I do want to put lights into this top of this bit, into top of there. I want to put a light in there, so when it lights down, all these windows and this cross on all three sides will all light up. Same with the church itself, they'll all light up as well. So that's what we're going to be doing with that one. But obviously off camera I will go ahead and I will finish putting all this brickwork onto the other sides of the church itself, and then at least then it's all in this tech. Then we can move on to painting the grout lines, the mortar lines, adding highlights to the brickwork to make them more prominent and like they have been there for 100 years. And then on the other side to that I've done the other arch. Now if you remember on the previous video I showed you that I'd already done this one. The very first things I did to show the video, I added the coffee sticks to the ends of the plywood just to give it some kind of shape, so when they're all painted it's going to look lovely instead of being that colour wood there. So, and then I've added these to the supports of the legs. So these just matchsticks, these are coffee sticks all the time. I tend to build a lot of things out of coffee sticks because I just find them very useful in a way that even when it comes to, sorry I'm just reaching over here, even when it comes to stuff like the fencing for, this is a project that I'm on with for another doll's house. These are made out of coffee sticks. All these are coffee sticks, but they make good picket fences. So, and this is just little wood that I had lying around. But it's just simple things. Coffee sticks can be, you know, they can be turned into anything. They're very universal when it comes to these kind of models. So, but yeah, it's absolutely solid, that thing. So that's why I've added these in to the model. So we need to trim this one back down now, and then once I've done the other ones and I've done all the sides and that, I will then be adding on, I'll show you how I add all the support legs in and the arch framework, and so we can trim the model up. So we'll just a recap on cutting. Get yourself a nice sharp blade and then just trace round the actual framework, the model itself. Oops, I got my head in way again. I've probably done that earlier as well. And you just keep, oops, that's why you've got to be so careful, because one slip and it's going to make a mess of your fingers. And then we just, that's why when you're coming to put this stuff on, you don't need to be cautious about trying to get it in line, because it won't look like it was purposely built that way. Because if you start putting these here, you'll end up with bigger mortar lines here, and it'll just look too uniformed with these bricks going around. You want to still have a scatter look. So then we'll just trim. Just keep trimming. That's that one. Like that. That's that. That's done. That's a bit of glue. Let's do the longer edge. Just make sure you're pushing down all the time, just so that the bricks don't lift. I've no doubt they won't, because the amount of glue we put on originally. Could have built an house with less glue. That's that. Pop that off there. So just be careful when you come into the intricate bits, you don't slip with knife and cut them off, otherwise There's a fair bit of work you're going to have to do to get the profiling back, which is not a problem because you just use matchsticks. Look, I've overcut it again there and I shouldn't have done, but it's pretty tough, this glue, especially when it hits cardboard. But like I said, I did put a lot on. I didn't want them to come off. Pull that out of there. That's it. And just keep trimming. Sorry about my big hand, no hands. Got one more arch. That's that. So just take your time with your knife. There's no point rushing it at the moment and getting hurt. That's that one. That's done. Yep, just pick it up and just have a quick look. Tool that around there. Like that. There we go. And then, like I said, you just pick your sandpaper up and then you can just refile and reshape. Go around stuff. So you just go back round and tidy it all up. Just try and get rid of the glue lines. That's what stops your model from going back together. It's just the glue. You do want a nice thing, but then what I tend to do is just scuff the walls up, because the glue's going to leave a shiny surface, and when it's time to paint them, there's going to be nothing for it to key to. So just scuff it up so the paint's got something to adhere to, but don't go heavily on it because you're trying to retain the look of everything. But as you can tell, it looks nice. Looks really nice. Right, so as you can tell, when we come a bit closer, it just looks so much better with what you've got. Sorry about the camera, it won't focus. Let's move it back a bit. No, it's still not playing ball. But that's your random stone wall. It's that one. Yep, and then we've got what we've just created now. You can see how it's going to look. Obviously that don't go onto there. It's got a longer church. That's the back of the church itself. But you can see what it's going to look like when it goes together. Yeah, it looks effective. It looks nice. It looks really good. So anyway guys, that's it for today. It was just a quick video to show you the process of what we've done so far, and I hope it gives you some idea of how to do that. There will be more videos on this church once I've got the other buildings done and the internal all stoned up, because then we can go over the techniques to paint it all and give it some distressed look and some weathered look. So because it has got, like I say, it's got a shine on it due to the PVA glue. We need to dull that back out. So stay tuned for that one, and please don't forget to subscribe, share and comment, please. It always helps the channel. It's nice to hear from other people. Anyway, take care guys. Bye bye.